feel today? Ask yourself this question.
What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! We ready! We ready! We ready! We ready! And let's go to the house! And let's go to the house!
When I step on the field, I send one message. And this is what it feels like. This is what it feels like.
Football is getting hit. That's it.
It's gonna be football now. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's hunt now. Let's hunt now. Let's go. Let's hunt. We ready? And let's go to the house. And let's go to the house.
We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this, how like we the Miami Heat of football. Yap, 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 yap. The bottom line is you got to buckle up your chin strap. It's embarrassing. Yap, 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 yap. Don't disrespect the game like that. There's too much crying from them. He's a man. They can be hit just like us. He's a man. You ought to make the big money. He's a man. Don't cry when you step on the field, man. That's war out there. When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like.
Oh, my bad, my bad. Your bad don't work in my world.
What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We ready? And let's go to the house. And let's go to the house. It's a wrap. Game over.
Nope, game's not over. Just getting started right here on the lunch break, powered by JM&E, streaming live on Roku TV, courtesy of BS3 TV. And I got to tell you, it's Winning Wednesday, but I got to go back to last night, man. I had a time on Queen 3 and King podcast. I was the host in place of my brother, King Doc. And, man, we had a great time. And let me just tell you, the topic was whole season. Yeah, I know. But man, they don't back away from anything. They cover it all on Queen 3 and King podcast. So listen, hurry up and get you a Roku streaming device, download BS3 TV, or get on over to that website right now as we speak and go to bs3network.com. That's bs3network.com. Click on Queen 3 and King podcast and look at the playback from last night. It was hilarious. I shared way too much. In fact, I shared probably one of my darkest secrets. So, but I was with safe people. I was with family, and they loved on me and they kept me safe. So, yeah, man, I had a great time, man. Ben Sutter III, King Doc, the entire BS3 family, thank you for letting this big head boy be a part of the team. All right, Winning Wednesday, y'all. Man, what about those games last night? Man, Atlanta did the unthinkable. They walked Boston down from a double-digit deficit to not only tie the game, but win the game when Trae Young knocked one down from the bathroom. Trae Young got out of the last stall to the left and just threw it up, and that bad boy hit nothing but net. Congratulations to Atlanta. I mean, series is still 3-2 Boston, but Atlanta said, "No, y'all coming back to hot Atlanta. Y'all have to do it in the dirty South if y'all gonna win this series." Man, I tell you what, and a recent report has Trae Young as the most overrated player in the NBA. I don't rock with this dude no more, but how sway. I mean, come on now. Come on. I think Dillon Brooks might be the most overrated player in the NBA, but not Trae Young. So, listen, this is Trae Young's time of year. You can hate him if you want to. He wants that. He likes that. He feeds off that. He is the number one villain in the NBA this time of year during the playoffs. This dude snatching souls out there, man. I love it, man. Great win by Atlanta and Boston. You know, hey, that's on you, dog. You let somebody walk you down from double digits. In a closeout game, and you end up losing 119 to 117. Come on, man. Come on. That's on you. That's on you. Head coach got to figure that out. Trae Young only dropped 38 points and 13 assists. How is he the most overrated player? How is he selfish? How is he overrated when he's dropping 13 dimes and dropping 38 points, including the game winner from the bathroom, last stall on the left? I don't get it. I don't get it. Very, very, very excited to see Atlanta keep that series going. Boston probably going to come out strong. And what's crazy about that game is it overshadowed a Herculean effort by Jaylen Brown, 35 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. But again, Atlanta got the win, refused to give up the series. So that was game one. Game two, Denver closed out Minnesota. And again, Minnesota had a lead in that game. Minnesota was up in that game, and then Denver came on strong and got the 112 to 109 win. Nikolai Joker, the Joker, finished with 28, 17, and 12. Big man dropping triple dimes, triple doubles on folks in the win. And I cannot, can't be mad at him. They're probably going to be the season's MVP. But again, Murray, I think, is the difference in that series. Remember, Murray was hurt for last season's playoff run, and he's back. And now you see how good they can be with Murray, the Joker, and others. You know, they had multiple players in double figures, and they got the win over Minnesota. Now, what's Minnesota going to do? What's Minnesota going to do? There are some problems on that team. If you remember, Rudy Gobert and Kyle Anderson got into it. And I just, that team is too good to not be smart and not be, winning more games than they did. You got one of the finest young players in the league today. One of the top players in my up and coming, rising young stars in Edwards. He had 29, 8, and 7. Gobert, 15 rebounds. Karl Anthony Towns, 26 and 11. I'm reading off a who's who. Michael Conley. I'm reading off a who's who, and they are getting they got bounced 4-1 by Denver. And I'm not slighting one of my colleagues, but somebody told me don't worry about Denver. Not in the playoffs. Don't worry about Denver. Well, Denver's moving on, and a very good, better than average Minnesota team is not. I tell these young people all the time, you may be talented, but you got to be smart. You got to be smart. You got to be smart on the court. You got to be smart off the court. You got to be smart with your teammates. You got to be smart with the organization or school, wherever you are. You got to be smart. And if you don't play smart, if you don't do smart things, if you just, it's all about you, then I got news for you. You're going to be like Minnesota, going home way too early. Way too early. Some say, well, AJ was the number one team in the West. Minnesota should have been able to run with them dogs. Minnesota should have been able to run with them dogs. And, again, something's got to get figured out there in that organization. Something has gotten to get figured out in that organization. All right, let me take my first break. I'll be right back with more right after this on the lunch break, powered by JM&E, streaming live on Roku TV, courtesy of BS3 TV. King Dog, thank you, brother. You made my night letting me do that.
Alicia.
You can't hold somebody to that standard if you haven't voiced what you want and what you're needing from that.
Mika.
If you're not communicating expectations, you're waiting for your feelings to be hurt.
Nicole.
Yeah. A lot of people don't want to take the time out to be alone and to get themselves together.
Ivan.
You got to be willing to work through stuff. And from the jump street, y'all done had problems. Maybe you don't need to be working through those.
BS3 Network proudly presents Queen 3 and King podcast. Live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central.
Steph Curry, Tim Anderson, Jordan Alvarez, and it's caught. Debo Samuel with the catch.
Michael Jordan consents.
The throw just got the king.
BS3 Network.
the hottest of hot takes, the coldest of cold hard facts. This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. Weekdays at 8 a.m. Eastern. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure.
When the man said that Sharifa Barksdale is on the verge, she's getting ready to set the world record. And I lost concentration and I fall off that hurdle. I was devastated.
Posición game ball de Canadá, dominando la prueba y la estadounidense Sharifa Barksdale está en.
When I fell over that hurdle, it ended my career. And then all of a sudden, my coach grabs me by the throat. And I was going through some paperwork and seeing that he had spent 10 years in prison. And I was just like floored. It turned to domestic violence. I was terrified. So if I left, I don't know if I was going to die. My family didn't know if they was going to get a phone call to say that Sharifa was dead.
8910 radio, I said a vehicle took a shot at me. Southbound on East 95th.
Broke the U.S. record in the 400-meter hurdles. Represented the United States of America.
Imagine being on the biggest, fastest roller coaster that you have ever been on. That's the way my life was for 20 years.
I never had no trouble out of her being what she wanted to be. Because if this is what she wanted to be a runner, well, God bless her, and he did.
My name is JM&E, and I won $500 on the lunch break for keeping up with the Jonas Bracket Challenge.
Jameis said that money came in handy too. Jameis, man, tell the whole family we said hello. Congratulations on winning $500 on the Lunch Break Weekly Keeping Up with the Joneses Bracket Challenge. And I make the name long because I can. Because we're going to do it again. You're going to get a chance to win $500 cash in the Lunch Break Weekly Keeping Up with the Joneses Pick'em Challenge coming up for the NFL. And it's going to be big. It's going to be big. It's going to be big. Stay tuned for your chance to win and how you can win in the Lunch Break Weekly Keeping Up with the Joneses challenges. All right. Man, I got to tell you, boy, I was real excited about the late game. 3 good games where the team that was down 3-1 did not want to go home. Atlanta staved off elimination. Unfortunately, Minnesota did not. And then it was the Clippers. Were they going to stave off elimination? Hecky no. They ran into a Phoenix Suns team that got it done. 136-130. Devin Booker had a night of nights. His personal best in playoff scoring. He finished up with 47 points, 10 assists. Again, man, these cats are not just busting the points, but they are dropping dimes on people. And he surpassed Charles Barkley for the most 40-point double-doubles in Phoenix Suns history. So, again, congratulations, Devin Booker. He went off. He went off like Jimmy Butler did, like LeBron did. You know, he went off like Devin did. I mean, not Devin, but for Denver, he went off. He went off. Congratulations, man. I love seeing these young cats balling like that. But you know what? Booker didn't do it by himself. DeAndre Ayton, nice night, 21 and 11. Kevin Aloysius Durant dropped 31 and 6 on him. And then Chris Paul had a nice little quiet, 15, 5, and 7. Nice little, side appetizer, 15, 5, and 7. Let me tell you something. Phoenix is pretty stacked. Now, I know they don't have a deep rotation. You know, they got what? They played 4 guys off their bench. 4 guys off their bench. They're going to have to do a little bit more than that if they match up with the Golden State Warriors. They're gonna have to do better than that if they match up with Denver. They gotta go a little deeper. But man, that starting five is strong. You know, they can probably put somebody in place of Craig, but you know, he does his thing when he's in there. Does his thing when he's in there. So 130 to 136 and 130. The Clippers. Now I want to talk about them for a minute. I feel bad for Tyronn Lue. I feel as bad for Tyronn Lue as I did for Coach Steven Silas here in Houston. Why you say that, AJ? Those two are nowhere near each other. Tyronn Lue's got a chip. Silas, 1 year and done. No, 3 years. I'm sorry. This wasn't 1 year. Here's why. Because both of them ended up coaching a totally different team than what they were expected to coach. Tyronn Lue thought it was going to be Paul George, the Claw, and other players. He's sitting there watching Kawhi Leonard and Paul George sitting in street clothes because of injuries. And I'm not knocking them on the injuries. I'm not one of those guys that, oh, no, these guys are – nobody knows their body better than that person. So, for them to battle, though, as hard as they did against a pretty much fully loaded Phoenix Suns team, take them down to the wire, 136 to 130, in a game that they really, multiple times they could have just said, forget it. They battled back from a double-digit deficit to make it close, to make every basket count down the stretch. And I credit Tyronn Lue with that because he got them guys playing in a way that most folks wouldn't have been able to do, including Russell Westbrook. Russ went off last game. This game, 14, 8, and 8, had a tough shooting night, but last game, Russ was the difference maker. So, Coach Tyronn Lue is probably going to get a lot of criticism. Folks are going to be talking about, oh, he needs to go and da-da-da-da-da. No, he's the right man for the job because he took what you gave him and made it competitive. Kawhi Leonard, don't know what he's going to do. I still think he is a great player. He's no longer in my superstar category. I got 2 superstars right now in the league. I got LeBron James and I got Kevin Durant. I'm sorry, 3. Giannis. What about Devin Booker? I don't know yet. What about Steph Curry? No, getting closer. I'm talking about superstars now. Superstars. Those players are superstars in their city. They're superstars on their team. But I'm talking about league-wide superstars. 3. Giannis, Kevin, and LeBron. LeBron's starting to come down a little bit because of, he's winding it down, but still, he's there. Kawhi Leonard was there after what he did in Toronto, but fell out. I wish the man the best. I'm not going to pile on him like everybody else does. So those are the games from last night. Celtics live to fight. Hawks live to fight another day. Wolves are out. Clippers are out tonight. You got 4 good games. You got the Knicks and the Cavaliers. Man, Cleveland. New York Knicks got a chance to close it out in Cleveland tonight. It'll tip off at 6 o'clock Central. Then Lakers at Memphis. Lakers up 3-1. Memphis. I don't want to hear about Dylan Brooks and poking the bear and people being old and drop 40 on me. Somebody dropped 42 on you, and you couldn't do an interview after the game. So, you know what? Win or stay home. That's what. And then you got the Miami Heat and Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis still sketchy with that back. Still very sketchy with that back. And can Jimmy Butler do on the road what he did at home the other night? If so, Miami moves on. That'll be at 8:30 Central. And then the Kings and the Warriors. I said some things yesterday that I meant. Golden State is a 4-time champion that has been very fortunate. I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying, don't be running around like you bulldoze teams at their best. You played a whole lot of teams and beat a whole lot of teams that were minus key players. I know that's part of the game. That's why it's hard to repeat and three-peat and all these other things because stuff just happens. That's part of the game. But let's just let's keep it a buck, man. Let's keep it a buck. I know Snowman in the morning is just losing his mind right now, but Snowman, it's the truth. It's the whole truth. It's nothing but the truth. Golden State has benefited from the universe, has blessed Golden State to not have to go against some of the players that would make it hard for them to get their stuff. And now they might be looking at it again if De'Aaron Fox is not able to go tonight because of fracture on his shooting hand, fracture on a finger of his shooting hand. We'll see, man, because De'Aaron was killing them. De'Aaron was killing them. He was making life hard for the Golden State Warriors. So we'll see how that plays out tonight. Let me run down who I think is going to win, and I'm going to take my final break. I've got the Cavaliers getting a win tonight. I've got the Grizzlies losing tonight at home. I've got Milwaukee losing to the Heat at home. And with De'Aaron Fox, I've got the Kings. Without De'Aaron Fox, I've got Golden State. All right? I'll take my final break. Be right back right after this on the lunch break, powered by JM&E, streaming live on Roku TV, courtesy of BS3 TV.
What do you get when you watch or listen to the Life Happens podcast? Well, I'll let them tell you.
Kim and I are both ministers of the gospel, and Life Happens podcast is a beautiful balance by simply taking our spirituality with real life and merging it together to create a beautiful balance. And that's what we do.
BS3 Network proudly presents Life Happens podcast, where Christianity and life intersect. Live every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central. Discouragement, sorrow, distance. Your arguments cause damage to your family. The hurt leads to divorce. You feel like there is nowhere else to turn. But there is hope for you. That's where we come into play. There is an overcomer that lives inside of you. One ready to take on the world as you leap for joy, living in victory. You'll grow to love yourself and others. There's life after divorce, and you can claim it today. Get Over Divorce, where your new story begins here every Thursday on YouTube and Spreaker. If you're looking for a sports program that gives you the flavor.
Washington Commanders? Really?
This whole thing stinks to high heaven.
That pulls no punches.
Thuggish act by a thuggish actor.
That gives you some humor.
Praise everything LeBron does and never criticize it.
If you want a show that gives you good times, then this is that show. BS3 Network proudly presents.
I am Cole Johnson, and welcome to
Cole Sports with a Z. Every Friday on Patreon and every Saturday on YouTube, Spreaker, and all other outlets.
My name is JM&E, and I won $500 on the lunch break of the Keeping Up with the Jonas Bracket Challenge.
Yeah, man, I'm glad for Jameis and his family winning that 500s, man. I'm glad for them, and I want you to be the next one. So get ready. Get ready. Start looking at these NFL teams. I know the draft is going to be tomorrow. We'll finally find out who goes number 1, who goes number 2, all the way down to 32 before we hit the next round. And that'll be tomorrow, starting, I believe, at 7 o'clock. So, yeah, get ready, get ready, get ready. Start looking at your teams, because come September, you get to send in your first week's picks, and try to win $50 cash. And then if you keep doing it for 18 weeks, you are in the top 6. You'll be like Erica and Amber and Miss Pearl, and who else was up in that top 6? Al High, Emmanuel. I know I'm missing one more person. Oh, Alexis, what a little quiet self. They were in the top 6 and competed for $500 cash. Miss Pearl walked away with that good money. So if you got some ideas on who you think's going to win, you want to win some money, $50 every week, and a chance to win $500 at the end of the season, you keep listening right here for your chance to win. All right, let me close out. Got 2 things I want to talk about. Yeah, 2 things. Got to congratulate the Houston Astros. They beat the Tampa Rays in Tampa. Tampa lost their first home game. They had won 14 in a row, longest streak in modern history. Only 2 teams in Major League Baseball history have won more consecutive games at home to start the season. And the Astros got them last night 5-0. So one thing I'm going to always give credit, Dusty Baker can manage, man. Dusty Baker can coach. Dusty Baker can create scenarios, and it ain't all analytics. A lot of it is just gut. And Dusty knows what he's doing. So he is on top of the heap, the first team to beat Tampa at home. You know, they got a chance to win the series tonight if they can get a win, a chance to win the series today. All right, so that's that. I want to go back to this leading up to the draft thing going on with CJ Stroud. Man, y'all kill me with these god doggone Wonderlic and S2 tests and all this kind of stuff. You got film on top of film on top of film on top of film. You got like real life experience that many of us saw with our own doggone eyes that these players can play. And then we get into this combine and we get into these pro days and we get into these measurements and the hand and the legs and the feet and the reps on 275 and the 40-yard dash and the vertical jump and all this. And then we start to forget just how good these dudes were on film in actual games, not in drills, but actual games. I am the first person to tell you that not everybody's game translates from college to the pros. There have been plenty of people that y'all told me was going to be a great pro. I was like, okay. And more times than not, I was right and you was wrong. That's starting to happen right now with CJ Stroud and another player, because there was another player's scores that were leaked out to be lower than they actually were. And even the person that runs the whole doggone S2 testing said that those 2 scores that were leaked were inaccurate. But no, the fans and the experts and the butters and the doubters and the haters and all that, baby, they just cannot let it go. So all I'll say is I will repeat what I said yesterday. Whoever those 2 players are, I know who one of them is, but whoever those 2 players are, after this weekend, you are going to be a multi-millionaire playing the sport that you love. That is a business. Don't get caught up in the emotions of people who either played the game and are not playing it anymore, or those like myself who never played at that level. Don't get caught up in that. I used to tell young people when I would help them with their preparing for the recruiting. One young man, I got to go on his recruitment trip to Texas A&M. It's like, Doc, you worrying about what your high school coaches are saying. You worrying about what they're not letting you do in the game. Listen, you're going somewhere. They're not. You got more life in front of you than they do. They got more life behind them. So don't miss out on what's in front of you, worrying about what those who don't have what you have in front of you in front of them. Man, I feel great for these guys that are going to get drafted this week. I feel great for them. Stop messing it up for them. If you don't feel good about your life, if you're trying to make yourself feel important, stop. As always, let's not be divided. Let's be united. I love you. There's nothing you can do about it except get ready for another takeover. That's right. That's right. Chris Gardner, Houston Roundball Review, and the crew going to take it over again tomorrow. Stick and stay. It's going to be hot, and you're going to want to see it. I promise you. And then we'll be back for Freestyle Friday. Y'all have a blessed rest of your week. We'll talk to you then.
Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know. Today is Tuesday, April 25th, 2023. Number 1. The Biden for President 2024 re-election campaign is expected to formally launch as early as Tuesday, the 4-year anniversary of his 2020 campaign announcement. President Biden would hit the re-election campaign more confident in his standing with the American voter. The midterm elections, usually a major loss for the party in the White House, yielded surprisingly good results as Democrats held a slim lead in the Senate, while Republicans came away with just a 4-vote majority in the House. Number 2. Every year, on April 22nd, Earth Day marks the anniversary of the birth of the modern environmental movement in 1970. By the end of 1970, the first Earth Day led to the creation of the United States Environmental Protection Agency and the passage of the other first-of-their-kind environmental laws. Many policy wins have emerged since Earth Day's past, but a report by the UN's Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change says the planet is on track to warm beyond 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial times, a critical threshold for even more damaging impacts between 2030 and 2035. Number 3. Dry eyes cause redness, watery eyes, blurred vision, and light sensitivity. Allergies, heavy computer use, or medical conditions can cause dry eyes as well. Knowing the cause can help you treat and prevent the condition at the very least. Check out the What You Need to Know newsletter to find out the 5 ways to manage your dry eyes at home, including using a warm compress. Number 4. In Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Black Arts MKE and Bronzeville Arts Ensemble have collaborated to create Zuri's Crown, a bold reimagining of the Brothers Grimm fairy tale Rapunzel. The adaptation by musical theater veterans Cynthia Cobb, Parrish Collier, and Sherry Williams Parnell celebrates Black women, their hair, and the power of self-expression and self-acceptance. Zuri's Crown will show at the Marcus Performing Arts Center April 27th through the 29th and is part of the world premiere, Wisconsin, a statewide festival celebrating new plays and musicals. Black Arts MKE is the only Black theater company participating. Number 5. Your credit score is one of the first things mortgage lenders consider when you apply for a loan. The better the 3-digit score, the higher the chances of the loan being approved. A credit score is the number between 300 and 850 that shows a consumer's credit worthiness based on their bill payment history, debt, and other financial information. A high score above 700 could even lower your interest rates. Are you still looking for ways to improve your credit score? Go to the What You Need to Know newsletter and check out our celebrity CPA, Katrina M. Kraft. Here's your daily inspiration from Yogi's Jewels. Calm down. Well, that's not just for anxious children. It's more for angry adults. Okay, I'll calm down. Join me today live on YouTube and Facebook at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central with comedian Damon Williams, producer Ahmed Gordon, and political contributor Cameron Riley, and our guest Michael Pratt, co-founder and Black business owner of Pivot, as we wrap up our Earth Month and we talk about environmental racism. We'll see you then. Thank you to our What You Need to Know partners, the American Heart Association and Black Health Matters. I'm Sybil Wilkes. Be informed, be empowered.
My name is JM&E, and I won $500 on the lunch money from the Keeping Up with the Joneses Bracket Challenge.
It's Sybil Wilkes with What You Need to Know. Today is Wednesday, April 26, 2023. Number 1. Harry Belafonte, known for his intelligent and passionate civil rights activism and trailblazing path in the entertainment industry, has died. Humanitarian and award-winning entertainer who worked with kings of the civil rights movement and performed before royalty made his transition Tuesday at the age of 96. The cause of death was congestive heart failure, according to his longtime publicist, Ken Sunshine. Number 2. The College Board says changes will be made to its new AP African American Studies course after critics said the agency bowed to political pressure and removed several topics from the framework, including Black Lives Matter, slavery reparations, and queer life. In a statement, the College Board said the development committee and experts charged with authoring the advanced placement course will determine the details of those changes over the next few months. College Board officials said developers consulted with professors from more than 200 colleges, including several historically Black institutions, and took input from teachers piloting the class. Number 3, while endometriosis is a common condition, Black women often have difficulty getting diagnosed. Endometriosis is a disease in which the endometrium, the tissue that lines the inside of the uterus or womb, is present outside of the uterus. For many people, endometriosis needs to be continuously treated with medicine to control symptoms like pain, and why it's important to maintain a regular appointment schedule with your healthcare provider. Number 4, while performing in Tennessee, Lizzo brought out a number of drag performers and posted videos on Instagram from the show, including comments to the crowd that referenced a pending law. That law that was referenced is a restriction on adult cabaret by Republican governor of Tennessee, which has been temporarily blocked by a judge for being too vague. This Tennessee law is just one of many, close to 400 anti-LGBTQ laws introduced in the United States, which most center around trans folks, drag bans, sports, and housing. Number 5, LaCambria Deonche Toomer has been missing from Albany, Georgia since August 13, 2022. According to the 23-year-old's family, her phone was last pinged in Dawson, Georgia on 11th Avenue near some abandoned homes, and her Cash App card was used August 15, 2022 at a gas station in Sasser, Georgia. Anyone with information on LaCambria's disappearance, please go to the Black and Missing Foundation website. Here's your daily inspiration from Yogi's Jewels. If you really want inner peace, practice remaining calm in all situations. Inhale calm. Exhale that chaos. Wait, I'm not done yet. Join me today live on YouTube and Facebook at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central with Man of the World Stephen Hill, Comedian of the World Myra J., and LGBTQ plus activist Quinn Townsend Riley, along with our special guest, comedian and TV host Kamal Bell, as we discuss today's top headlines and Bell's HBO documentary 1000% Me. Thank you to our What You Need to Know partners, the American Heart Association and Black Health Matters. I'm Sybil Wilkes. Be informed, be empowered.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.